When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Hello everyone, and this is your host, Lord Dixie, your dear friend and compatriot, otherwise guy you probably can't stand because he's irritating and an asshole on Facebook. But we are at you today again on the YouTube with another chip review, and this week we are doing a potato chip that I have never tried before. I think it's a fairly new flavor of an old brand, or I just noticed it on the shelves because I've been looking for odd potato chips lately. Anyway, this week we are going to be talking about Ruffles, and it is the Ruffles All Dressed. Let me see this on there. And the Ruffles All Dressed, #1 flavor in Canada. And Canada's an awesome country, as we can see from their PM today, putting out a welcome to everyone that we're turning away. But no politics. Let's just get on to our chippies here. Like I said, I've never had this flavor before. Ruffles was one of my favorite potato chips growing up. The Ruffles barbecued, I absolutely love. They're still probably my favorite barbecue chip of all times. And as we all know, Ruffles have ridges. And they have ridges right there. This is as I was saying, a flavor I've never tried before. I'm just going up on the cover. It's looking like it's going to have maybe maple syrup, either cinnamon or brown sugar. This is the 8.5 ounce bag, killer ass bag. Picked this up at Walmart for a $4.29 price tag. So hopefully I will like them, but not like them enough so that I eat the entire bag at one sitting. Still sealed. Actually has an expiration date of February the 28th. I picked them up last week and just got the chance to do the video. So they got a good month before their, I guess, the preferred time of freshness. So let's go ahead and pop the bag. That's just kind of a barbecued aroma. Let's do the old air versus content. This is a huge bag. It's actually looks a little over half full, so that's like, for the amount of chip to air ratio, it actually looks a little better than the Zaps that I got. I still love Zaps. Maybe because it's a bigger chip, maybe because it's a bigger bag. Like I said, that's maybe not quite 3/4 of a bag, but it is over a half. You can see for yourself. Slightly over half anyway. We look down, the chips on top are nice, don't appear to be broken up too much. It's not a huge amount of coloration, they're pretty much a white chip. A little bit of red there. To me, the aroma is barbecue. Which, maybe that's barbecue sauce versus maple syrup. Let's just, without even going for trying to figure out what the flavors are here, let us just go ahead and bite into one and see what we got. Not a very strong flavor-filled chip. This one that has a little more color. Maybe there's a little more flavor to it. A light, slightly peppery taste. Definitely doesn't have a barbecue taste. Very, very subtle. Slight vinegary taste. I'm assuming that's supposed to be vinegar, maybe. A little bit of sweetness. I'm not really having a huge amount of flavor jump up and greet me and say, hey, I'm paprika, I'm barbecue, I'm whatever. It's the first bite in, you get a little bit of sweetness. Supposedly, I think this is supposed to be garlic, onion, paprika, and spices with smoke flavor. They do have a slightly smoky taste. I'm assuming that is indeed supposed to be barbecue sauce and paprika on the cover. I did not Google this. I wanted to just experience this right out of the bag, and honestly, they're better than a plain potato chip, but they're not extremely flavorful. You can taste the paprika, but it's very, very subtle. No garlic taste. Slight oniony taste with the pepper. The peppery taste, I'm afraid, is probably coming from a mixture of the paprika and the onion. Dig down in here. Let me get the ones that are like really that are essentially settled into the bag. Okay. Excuse me, I do have a little bit of a head cold. I don't think that's affecting my taste buds. But we may revisit these in the future. Now, as I said, I love Ruffles. I've loved Ruffles since I was a kid. They're a great chip. They're a good texture chip. They're not as hard as the Zap, so they've got a really, really good texture to them. They don't fall apart. There are some broken. They do break in the bag. They're not so hard that they don't break, but they're not also not so hard they don't feel, they're not painful to chew, but they are firm enough they don't just completely fall apart in your mouth. You do get the sensation of chewing and crunching them. It's not so much, I know, with the first Zaps I did, you could easily hear the crunch when I ate one on the camera and on the video later. This one, you can probably hear the crunch when I bite into them, but not so much when I'm chewing. It does tend to just kind of fall apart in your mouth after a few chews. Not a huge amount of colorful residue, but I do feel some residue from the chips on my hand. Oh, very, very faint garlicky. Is garlicky a word? It should be. If it's not, it is now. Okay. So I'm going to go in here and give you my final judgment. As soon as I take another drink of water to clear this pasty, powdery chip out of my mouth. Sippy, sippy. Okay, so the Ruffles All Dressed. It's not a bad chip. It's a very good chip as far as texture, crunch. You know, the chip itself is a good, the Ruffles has always been a good tasting chip in and of itself. Even the Ruffles plain with ridges is a good chip. This one, texture-wise, it's not as hard as the Zaps. It doesn't crumble apart like the pop chips I had, but there is a little bit of residue, so it wouldn't shock me if they used some potato powder as filling, although it doesn't, it just says potatoes. It has a slight powdery texture, which kind of gumming up the works, but nothing like the pop chips. But as far as the flavor goes, there's really just nothing to stand out about this that would make me want to grab another bag. If you like the flavor, if this is your thing, that's great. Canada, I guess I'll need to buy the extra spicy whenever I travel up north. There's nothing wrong with them. It's a good tasting chip, but the flavor itself, there's nothing that would make me say, ooh, I'm going to grab the all dressed versus grabbing the regular Ruffles, or grabbing even another chip if I wanted something that's spicy or flavorful. You can try them, you can have different results, but for me, there's just really nothing to suggest this or promote this over the regular Ruffles plain chip. Sorry, I really wanted to like this because it looks so beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. It looks like it would be just fill your mouth full of flavors that would send you back to a Marrakesh marketplace or a Toronto marketplace. I don't know, it's cold in Toronto. Maybe shit doesn't smell as bad. But anyway, that's it. That's your Ruffles All Dressed potato chips. Not a bad chip, but also nothing just outstanding that I would urge you to run out and buy one yourself. I wanted to go ahead and shoot the video today because obviously, you know, I've got another month on these. I don't want to leave them laying around until I hopefully got better. But I may revisit it again with a fresh pack when I do not have a head cold and see if it changes my mind. I honestly don't think it will. I'm able to enjoy normal foods with a head cold. I don't think, if the flavor depends on you having completely clear nasal passages, then it's probably not strong enough to begin with. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. We will come at you again. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Take another drink because swallowing down the potato chip residue so that I don't hurl on camera, which would be totally horrible for anyone to do. Anyway, as I said, hit like, hit subscribe. Go visit me at LordDixie.com, Lord Dixie's Dark Domain on Blogger, or Dead Sexy Radio. Also at HouseOfTorturedSouls.com. I got some stuff there that I've written mostly about horror movies, and we may come at you later today with some horror movie shit. Watch for that to be online too. For now, thanks for tuning in. If you didn't, fuck you. We'll see you later.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.